The father-son relationship is an unusual one, a special one. But consider just for a second what happened in a South Carolina courtroom today. A son took the stand and testified for the defense in his father's double murder trial. Prosecutors say Alex Murdaugh killed his wife and other son to cover up crimes. Today, his surviving son, Buster, told the story of that awful night.
Buster, when did you first find out that your mom and brother were murdered?
My dad called me. I can't remember the exact time, but it was later. And he called me on the phone. He asked me if I was sitting down, and I was like, yeah. And then he, sounded odd, and then he told me that my mom and brother had been shot.
Robyn Koslowitz, clinical psychologist that deals with traumatized families and kids, is with us now. Robyn, I think even the layperson could agree the Murdaugh family, considering all that has happened with it, would be qualified as traumatized. That said, in as much as you feel for Buster, who, at least by prosecutors' accounts, has done nothing wrong here, can you account for the emotions that would go on when a son is testifying about whether or not his father is convicted of murder of his brother and mother?
I think what we saw today was the anesthesia of trauma. When we're traumatized, sometimes we don't feel our emotions. We simply he's staying in that logical mindset, trying to answer the questions and not really dealing with the emotions that he must be going through.
If you're a jury, and you know this from the flip side of talking to people who have been traumatized and going through this, if you're a jury and you're listening to a man who has lost his mother and his brother, and now potentially is going to lose his father to life in prison, can you believe anything he says?
I think the jury is going to have a hard time dealing with the unemotional presentation that he has. But for actual trauma survivors, that is how they talk. People in the aftermath of extreme tragedy do talk in that very logical, detached way. It's the only way the brain can make sense and can cope during this kind of pressure.
That's a good point. I think about people who I've interviewed who've lost children, or people who survived the Holocaust and other really just sort of overwhelmingly emotional events. That is how they talk, because they can't deal with it. Interestingly enough, this family's had so many issues, right? There was the boat crash in which Buster's brother was accused of being drunk and killing a young girl who he was out joyriding in this boat with. You've got the financial crimes that are alleged by the prosecution and others by Alex Murdaugh. And then also over all of this is the drug addictions that allegedly sort of fueled the bad behavior. Take a listen to Buster being asked about that.
Were you aware that your dad had a opioid addiction?
A little bit. I knew a little bit about the usage of pills.
What did you know about it?
I knew that either my brother and mom had found them at some point, and then told them like, hey, we found these. And I want to say the 2018 around Christmas, he went to a detox facility after Christmas, and that was my knowledge of it. Thought that handled it.
To a layperson who's watching that, you say, how can you be that detached, that logical, that cold when talking about this really emotional thing and looking at your father at the defense table who may be going to prison? Is that why prosecutors maybe didn't cross-examine him? Because it just sort of would have continued to look worse for them? I'm trying to figure out the logic here and how the jury would understand what you were saying as an expert, that, hey, it's more likely he's telling the truth than if he was super emotional and sobbing and carrying on.
The question is, would a layperson know that he would be that unemotional?
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.